Alright, what dots we are connecting today? About blackberries. And this video is for Carmen. She asked me about how do I do with these blackberry canes. So it's pretty much one cane going straight up, and then it has ramifications this way, that way. As you can see, that one goes that way, and then up, over, over, and I cut the tips of each cane at probably around, I cut off about 20% of the total length. So this whole cane here was probably about this long. So I cut down the tip. I'm mostly guided by the buds. So if it's a solid, strong bud, I would cut it right there. And after this bud, usually the buds are about this size or smaller, which are not really viable, because what's happening on this lateral cane, you can see it's almost 90 degrees. This is how they grow out, straight out. These are the ones that will produce, and they shoot upwards. It's just like almost like a wine type um, production, where you have these shoots going straight up, and I tie them to that straight like that. It's going to be around 2-3 feet long. So those are the producing ones. And obviously from the ground, and excuse this water, but we had a huge storm in Chicago, and I just put the pump in to suck out all the water. uh, it's not gonna hurt the grass if it stays maybe a day or two, but it hurts now. You see, now I'm drifting off my subject, but that's fine. But it hurts the earthworms. So earthworms can stay probably around 24 hours underwater, and they are still alive. However, if it's more than 48, they're gonna die. And I had years when this is flooded, because I'm in a flood zone in the lower part of my garden, and my garden is lower than all the surrounding gardens. So slowly, that's why all that garbage, it's not garbage, but it's stuff that I put along my fence. So eventually it's gonna form a hill once it's composting. So every branch, every little grass, whatever I get, I put it alongside my fences all around, and it'll create a hill in about a few years, where even if my plot it's lower than the neighboring plots, the water won't be able to go over a foot and a half, 2 foot hill, 2 foot hill. So back to the subject with the canes of the blackberry. And again, don't worry about the water. Here is a more better example. So I stake it up, and what I do, I run them horizontally, see, and then these, they're gonna go upwards, and I tie them down again. So these are the ones that produce the fruit. Oh my gosh, there's so much water in here. You see, these are the horizontal ones, and then these, they go up, and I tie them to that one. So you need one to probably a 3-level trellis, where imagine that this whole thing is like a green wall in the summer. You cannot see inside that trellis. It's completely blocked off by the level of leaves and fruits and all that. I will probably send you some pictures as well to see how much leaves. And I have literally like 4 plants only. 1, 2, 3, which is really new one, and 4, 5, and then this one here, the sixth, which is really close. It didn't even develop yet. This last year wasn't here, so it probably fell down one of these leaves. They curving like that, and then they fell down. They touch the ground. They put in roots, and then there's a new plant coming out. And here on the pile of this burn here, you can see all the old ones that I cut off from last year. So everything that's like this, I'm cutting off, and I just throw it up here. So I'm leaving only the one two, three shoots out of the ground, and those laterals are the ones that they are producing. And you might ask, what's with all those CDs? Uh, Blackberry and every berry pretty much is prone for all kind of birds coming in the garden and literally decimate your production. So when those are flipping in the wind, they cast out a really shiny light. I don't know if you can catch it on camera or not, but they do cast a light, and the birds, they don't like it. Plus they are moving around, maybe against the garage there, I don't know, and they tend to stay away from this area. And this was a pretty cheap way for me to come up with a scarecrow without actually building a scarecrow. So that's about the. This was last year cane, and it didn't produce because it was too young. As you can see, I cut it down last year, right there. So once you cut it short, it won't bend down all the way to the ground. And if you don't want to propagate, you have to cut it. And then all these lateral shoots, they were like this last year. Now they are shoots, now they are branches. And once those branches are established the second year, they gonna, actually the third year, they're gonna start growing these branches that they go up. So you have to, I mean, the plant will tell you. You see, look at the angle that this branch came off the main cane. You see, it's almost 90 degrees. Those are the producing branches. You see,